Foreign direct investment, or popularly known as FDI, is a key component in global economic integration. FDI is an investment made by a resident enterprise or direct investor into the enterprise that resides in another country. This often involves establishing operations or acquiring tangible assets, including stakes in other businesses. This is not just a transfer of ownership, as it usually involves the transfer of factors complementary to capital, including management, technology, and organizational skills. The main objective of FDI, however, is to establish lasting interests. This implies the existence of a long-term rapport between the direct investor and the direct investment enterprise, along with a significant degree of influence over the management of the enterprise. According to the OECD, an ownership of 10% of voting power by a foreign investor is evidence of such a relationship. Now, there are two types of FDI. First, the greenfield investment. Second, the brownfield investment. Let's focus on the greenfield investment first. A greenfield investment is a form of foreign direct investment where a parent company starts a new venture in a foreign country by constructing new operational facilities from the ground up. In addition to building new facilities, most parent companies also create long-term jobs in the foreign country by hiring new employees. Companies like McDonald's and Starbucks are the prominent examples of greenfield investment.
Brownfield investment, also known as cross-border merger and acquisition, the purchasing of an existing production or business facilities by companies or enterprises for the purpose of starting a new product or service. This type of investment does not involve the new construction of plant operation facilities. An example of this investment can be found in the Indian truck company Tata Motor in 2008, where the enterprise acquired Land Rover and Jaguar from the Ford Motor Company. From a strategic viewpoint, there are three types of FDIs. They are horizontal FDI, vertical FDI, and backward vertical FDI. Horizontal FDI occurs when a company carries out the same activities abroad as at home. For example, Toyota assembling cars in both Japan and the US. Vertical FDI occurs when different stages of the production chain are added abroad. Forward vertical FDI is when the FDI takes the firm nearer to the market. For example, Toyota acquiring a car distributorship in America. Backward vertical FDI is when international integration moves back towards raw materials. To use Toyota as an example once more, it acquires a tire manufacturer or a rubber plantation. Once a firm undertakes FDI, it becomes a multinational enterprise, MNE. For the rest of this video, we would focus on what are the specific benefits of FDI inflows into a country and what policies can a country pursue to maximize the benefits of FDI. But first, some clarifications. In practice, many countries take a pragmatic stance towards FDI through specific policies. These policies would vary from nation to nation, often with mixed results. Countries that adopt a pragmatic stance often pursue policies designed to maximize national benefits. For the host country, the receiver of FDI, the main benefits of inward FDI includes: first, resource transfer effects; second, employment effects; third, balance of payment effects; fourth, effects on competition and economic growth. Let's begin with resource transfer effects. Foreign direct investment can contribute positively to the host economy by supplying the capital, technology, and management resources that would otherwise not be available and hence boost the country's economic growth rate. Let's move on to employment effects. FDI is often associated for its positive employment effects on the host country. The effects of FDI can be both direct and indirect. We'll begin with the direct. Direct effects occur when a multinational enterprise, MNE, employs a number of the host country's citizens. Indirect benefits occur when the employees of the multinational enterprises start spending money locally. Additionally, jobs are created among local suppliers as a result of the MNE's operations. Let's talk about the balance of payment effects. There are two ways in which FDI can help a country run a current account surplus. First, if the FDI is a substitute for import of goods and services, the effects can be to improve the current account effects on competition and economic growth. When FDIs take the form of a greenfield investment, that is to establish a new operation in a foreign country, number of competitors in the market increases, thus giving consumers more choice and increasing the level of competition. The theory is that the increasing level of competition within the national market would help spur innovation and drive down prices, thus creating the conditions for greater economic growth. Making FDIs work. Host countries often adopt policies that are crafted to both restrict and to encourage inward FDI. Governments may offer incentives to foreign firms to invest in their countries. Incentives may include tax breaks, low interest loans, grants, subsidies, or state spending on infrastructure. Furthermore, host countries can often employ a variety of controls to restrict FDI in order to maximize its potential benefits while limiting its costs. The two most common policies include ownership restraints and performance requirements. One of the main reasons behind ownership restraint is the idea that local owners can help to maximize the resource transfer and employment benefits of FDI for the host country. A good example would be Japan. The Japanese government, right up till the early 1980s, prohibited most FDI. It only allowed for joint ventures between Japanese and foreign MNEs, if the latter had valuable technology. Performance requirements are constraints placed upon the local subsidiary of the MNE to control its behavior. Many countries often implement performance requirement policies to suit the country's needs. Common performance requirement policies include the requirement on product content, technology transfer, and local participation in top management. Singapore is one of the 4 original Asian tiger countries. These are countries that experienced rapid economic growth between the 1960s and 1990s. Singapore's economy relies heavily on foreign investment to maintain its competitiveness and drive its economic growth. Among the other Asian tigers, only Singapore has chosen to use foreign direct investment as its principal source of external capital. The data on foreign direct investment in Singapore reflects the foreign ownership of its production facilities. In 2012, there was a fall in Singapore's FDI, but gains were made on the run-up to 2014. Looking at the data from 2014, we can see that Singapore has a high GDP growth of 3.9% despite having a small population and a lack of natural resources. The United States is a major investor in Singapore, followed by Japan, British Virgin Islands, and Cayman Islands. FDI in Singapore remain predominantly in the financial and insurance services sector, standing at 515.6 billion. Wholesale and retail trade at 176.6 billion, and manufacturing at 147.6 billion. Due to its strategic location, close to the Malacca Straits, and well-developed port facilities, Singapore's merchandise export involves a large volume of trade, which consists of re-exports. Singapore attracts foreign investment due to its highly developed physical and regulating infrastructures, skilled manpower, and easy access to the rapidly expanding Asian markets. Singapore seeks FDI to not only provide employment for its people, but to also gain useful foreign technologies that will help drive growth of its local companies. In summary, FDI has assisted Singapore to become a country with one of the highest per capita income in the world.
There are a number of dangers that can be associated with FDI. The employment benefits that MNEs provide may not last forever. There is no guarantee that the MNE would stay for a prolonged period in the country that they invested in. If things were to go south, the investors can choose to pull out, causing harm to the local economy. Furthermore, being over-dependent on MNEs may lead to a loss of sovereignty. The MNE may gain the upper hand when it comes to making deals with the host country's government, leading to an exploitative relationship that may not be apparent in the early stages. Harms include environmental damage and human rights violations. In an increasingly interconnected world, the process of globalization has presented an economic challenge for developing countries. It is in this context that FDIs have been accorded great importance as a driver of economic growth. Although some countries have benefited from FDIs, many other nations have yet to see its fruits. Governments should tread lightly and pursue pragmatic policies in order to maximize the benefits of FDIs.